If you are stressed, this is your wake-up call, because reading really might be the most powerful stress relief tool that you are not using, and it works in many ways that most people don't even realize. Today, I'll be sharing with you the 6 reasons why reading will save your life and the benefits that this fun hobby does to your brain. Every single person watching this video can relate to the first reason because it is the worst silent killer for anyone's health, which is stress. A study conducted in 2009 at the University of Sussex researchers found that reading for as few as 6 minutes a day can reduce your stress by 68%. That is better and quicker than many other methods like listening to music at 61%, drinking tea or coffee at 54%, and even going for a walk at a whopping 42%. And it is also found that reading can reduce physical stress in your body by decreasing your heart rate and relaxing muscle tension within your entire body. When you find an amazing book to read, it really does engage your imagination and creativity, fully immersing your mind within the book that you're reading. These amazing stories helps activate parts of your brain that act as an anxiety brake, which helps shut off your stress hormones. So in simple terms, reading helps shift your brain from emergency mode to rational thinking. Now, what most people get wrong is that they don't feel instantaneous calmness once they crack open a book and start reading, and that is completely normal. That's because your body needs time to process and release any stress hormones within your body. So as time goes on while you're reading your book, you'll gradually start to feel more calm. Dr. David Lewis, who actually conducted this study, said, "It really doesn't matter what you read. By losing yourself in a thoroughly engrossing book, you can escape the worries and the stressors of the everyday world and spend a while exploring the domain of the author's imagination." Reason number 2 is reading combats mental decline and Alzheimer's in old age. A study conducted in 2013 by Dr. Robert Lewis followed the lives of 294 older adults, both men and women, averaging in their 80s, over several years as part of the Rush Memory and Aging Project. Participants were tested every year on their memory and thinking skills near the end of their lives. And they also reported on how often these individuals engage in mentally stimulating activities like reading, writing, and even visiting their library. And that is across their entire lifespan from childhood all the way to geriatric age. So after the participants passed away, averaging about the age of 89, the researchers were able to look at the physical remains of their brain to test for any signs of Alzheimer's. And the researchers found that the people that actually engaged in mentally stimulating activities had a significantly slower rate of memory decline. Even when the participants did show physical signs of Alzheimer's in their brain, those individuals still maintained better memory and thinking skills. People with increased mental activities later on in life had a 32% slower rate of cognitive decline, while people on the other hand with decreased mental activity experienced 48% faster mental decline than average. And I believe Dr. Wilson said it perfectly, because the bottom line is we shouldn't underestimate the effect of everyday activities like reading and writing on our children, on ourselves, on our parents, and our grandparents. Reason number 3 is that reading will help you sleep at night. Reading before bed is a simple, low-effort way to wind down your brain and help you get ready for sleep. And believe it or not, reading really will help your quality of sleep. In a study, 42% of readers reported better sleep compared to the 20% of non-readers. That's because it helps de-stimulate your brain, allowing it to transition out of an alert state into a relaxed one. Some additional benefits include strengthening your brain by improving your empathy, expanding vocabulary, and like I said before, supporting long-term cognitive health. So here are some tips to help you start your reading bedtime routine. The first tip is to complete your pre-bedtime routine, like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, whatever you need to do to relax your mind, body, and spirit. Do that before you start reading. Number 2 is to use the right lighting. Try to cut off your lights 2 hours before bed. Don't use any blue lights, aka your phone, and use some warm amber lighting in your home so that your mind can start to shut down. Number 3 is to create a wonderful Zen ambiance. If you're able to, use some aromatherapy in your home and even play some soft jazz or some lo-fi, some music without lyrics. And the fourth tip is to consider your location. If you're worried about falling asleep while reading in your bed, don't worry. You can sit in a comfy sofa, or if you have a reading chair within your reading nook, anywhere you want to sit down to get comfortable, stretch out, that is where you want to read. The fourth reason is that readers become more empathetic over time. Empathy really is one of the most powerful human skills. It really does allow you to understand how people think and feel. Real empathy requires you to see the world from other people's perspectives, which can actually help you to change your thinking. That's why I love reading fiction, because it really does require me to step in someone else's life and experiences. And because of this natural human emotion, it really does require your brain to exercise, because your brain is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Hence why people who read fiction score higher in empathy and they understand others' thoughts. So the way this works is that when you read stories, your brain becomes emotionally transported into the narrative. So you're not just reading, but you're actually mentally experiencing what is happening in the reality of that book. And over time, that helps you apply those perspectives into real life people and situations. The fifth reason is my most favorite of all because reading really is therapeutic. The term bibliotherapy is directly related to the use of books, stories, and literature for therapeutic and healing purposes. It involves reading material that provides guidance, support, and insight to help people with their emotional and mental challenges. And believe it or not, it is used to help complement traditional talk therapy, but not replace it. So the way bibliotherapy works is that the reading material is chosen to help match the person's experiences and troubles that they're going through. This includes fiction, self-help, poetry, and personal narratives. And the ultimate goal is to help the individual reflect on their own experiences, gain new perspectives, and most importantly, to develop coping strategies. There are a couple key benefits to take away from bibliotherapy, one of them being continued support outside of your therapy sessions. Bibliotherapy extends healing beyond the sessions to give the person the tools that they need to use on their own time. And the second one being self-awareness and insight. Reading really does encourage reflection and introspection, in turn helping individuals better understand themselves. A good rule of thumb is to not self-diagnose yourself, but bibliotherapy does help with anxiety, depression, grief, relationship issues, and much more. Last and certainly not least is reading helps decrease loneliness and social isolation. A great way to help with decreasing your isolation and your loneliness is to simply just join a book club. This will help you stay accountable because you're actually going to read the books that are provided in the book club when people are expecting discussions at the end of the month. You'll be exposed to new ideas and books that you wouldn't even find on your own. This will give you the opportunity to explore new topics or even gain a new perspective on topics that you've already read. So while you're having group discussions in your book club, you'll be able to think deeper and differently about the topics you guys are discussing. Being able to hear someone's interpretation can actually change how you perceive the text. And the most fun part about being a part of a book club is that it feels like a sense of community for like-minded people like you. And of course, depending on your comfortability, there are in-person book clubs, or you can find a virtual only book club. And once you find the book club that fits your criteria, you're going to notice that your daily stressors decrease and your want and thrill to read will increase. So when you sit back and actually think about it, reading isn't just a hobby. It's a tool. It helps reduce stress, it protects your mind as you age, it helps you sleep at night, makes you more empathetic, gives you a peace of mind, and reminds you that you are not alone. And when you stack all of that together, 6 minutes really doesn't seem too far out of reach. So happy reading. If you need a list of books to read because you don't know where to start and you want to help cure your brain rot, make sure to click this video right here. Watch, enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.